losing my brain with the candlelight. Losing my breath, losing myself, dreams are out of sight. Stop struggling against my demons. Stop taking life as fiction. Let it burn, burn, burn. Burn the pain, burn the lies, burn the fear inside myself. And burn it all again. It's the right time to escape this stage. I've been lurking for so long. It's not where I belong. Let it burn, burn, burn into the ground.
What's up? How's everybody doing today? Whew, it's that time of the year again, isn't it? Yep, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2022 Optimistic Award Show. But for the first time ever, I won a WrestleMania. One from the old days, Ultimate Warrior, that sort of thing. Yeah. Soon Tide, not around, because, well, let's be honest, I outgrew my last one. I really need to lose some weight. Don't worry, I'm on the process of that. Plus, I'm going to get a new suit for sure very soon. So, whew, what a year 2022 has been. It is December 1st. And every year since 2016, I host what I call my Optimistic Award Show. It's my absolute favorite thing to do on my YouTube channel at any time of the year. Because I like to look back and reflect on the best moments, the worst moments, the coolest moments, the saddest moments, the funniest moments. Pretty much anything with the S at the end of it. But now, I will say this time I'm alone. Back to hosting the show by myself, because last year I hosted the show in Virginia with my bro Longneck Josh. And speaking of, this is WrestleMania, and folks, finally, we're going to try again. Longneck Josh and I are going to WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles. Assuming another virus doesn't suddenly show up and take us out of it. Because, well, we all know what happened in 2020. We were supposed to go to WrestleMania in Tampa Bay. That didn't work out. COVID hit. Now, practically 3 years later, we're going to do it again. We're going to try again. Hopefully this time it works. I got my thoughts and prayers up. Hope you guys got your thoughts and prayers up. But hopefully, most importantly, you got yourself a nice drink, a nice bucket of popcorn, or whatever the hell it is you want to eat. Kick back and enjoy the show. Because as we all know, this is not just the 7th annual Optimistic Award Show. Oh my God, 7th. I've done this for a long time. This is also the 4th Optimistic Hall of Fame class. Got quite a list of 6 inductees this year. I'm excited to share everything with you. I'll be speaking on behalf of 2 of the inductees, but the remaining 4 have sent in their own acceptance speeches, so you're going to see them in this show. Over the years, when it comes to the Optimistic Award Show, I use that pyrotechnics at the start of it, but as you guys noticed, there's no pyro this year. And you're probably wondering, that's a ripoff. I've done pyro since 2019. I decided to give it a break this time. But don't worry, folks. It's only going to be a matter of time before that's back. It's also the first time in a long time that I'm hosting the award show without the blonde hair. Since 2019. Don't worry, at some point, I intend to bring that look back. Trust me. But for now, folks, it's time to get right in to the nitty-gritty. It's time to discuss what's going on. So, we're going to kick things off with the Optimistic Hall of Fame. Just like I did last year. And this time it was a little bit easier for me to figure out who I want in the Hall of Fame class for 2022. Because sometimes it was easy, other times it was difficult, but most importantly, every last one of them earned it. Everyone deserved it. 2019 was the first time I introduced the Optimistic Hall of Fame, where I would honor those who really embody what it means to be optimistic at a time when life was really hitting them very hard. Another thing I want to let you guys notice is it was also tough for me to figure out who's going to be the Optimistic Empire Member of the Year for 2022. For the first time ever, I was, even as I'm shooting this right now, I don't know. I'm not kidding. I don't know who it is, because I didn't exactly plan this out that far ahead. I've been so busy with a lot of shit. And in 2019, I'll get to the Optimistic Empire Member of the Year award a little later. But I want to tell you guys right now, in 2019, I created the Hall of Fame, and the headliners were the Losers Lounge, with the exception of me. 2020, the headliner was Long Neck Josh, and last year the headliner was Mason Kentish. So, this year's headliner, and this is also it's not just the headliner, but it's also the guy who's going to end the show, Gavin Orlandi. Also known as pro wrestler and bodybuilder, Gavin Gradley. Well, technically the wrestler is just Gavin Gradley, but the bodybuilder and everything else about him, and my bro, Gavin Orlandi. Love you, man. Can't wait to hear your speech at the end of this video. But the first Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee is a friend who I met on PlayStation. So I'm just going to go really quickly on this. In 2020, me and a group of friends created what we know as the Colony of Weirdos. You're probably wondering what does that even mean? It's COW. Get it? COW. Colony of Weirdos. And in 2020, two members of COW were inducted into the Optimistic Hall of Fame, one of them being Logan. I will say that this person, however, who's being inducted into the Optimistic Hall of Fame is a member of that group. And how this works is, like, when it comes to COW, me and a group of friends gather on PlayStation. We even have a Discord server. And we hang out. We talk a lot of our favorite things. We talk wrestling. We talk movies. We talk memes. We talk pretty much anything you can think of. But when it comes to online, we have this thing where we play Grand Theft Auto Online from GTA 5. We also occasionally play Fall Guys. Some of them play Among Us. I don't play Among Us, sorry guys. But they do. And we also created storylines and championships and competed for them. Because there's this game mode in GTA, it's called Sumos. It's not Sumos Wrestling, no. It's like car demolition derby battles. Try to knock your opponent out of the safe zone before the time expires. If you're the last one standing, you're the winner. It's really fun. I enjoy that game very much. We created championships. We created storylines. We created characters. It's been very entertaining. But at the same time, it's allowed me to have another community of people. And that's why I want to tell you guys right now that, if anyone's interested in joining us, hit me up or something. And I can maybe set up a game session one day. Assuming I'm not too busy, because lately I've been grinding with YouTube content like crazy. So, this person who's being inducted in the Hall of Fame, his name is Javier Brizuela. And he was one of the first members to join COW when I had my first game session with fans. When I sent out an invite on my social media, and I said, hey, I'm gathering on PlayStation, and for the first time I'm thinking about playing with fans. We're going to play some GTA. If anyone's interested, come on and join us. Quite a few people joined in, and Javier was one of them. And when I got to know him, it's just amazing at how much of a great guy he is. He's not somebody you want to cross, but at the same time, he's someone who's got a very caring heart, a great sense of humor, and is not afraid to tell you when you're fucking up. And that's the reality of life. That's what people need the most. You don't just want people in your life that is just all perfect for you. No, what you need in life is someone who cares about you, laughs with you, but most importantly, is not afraid to tell you when you're messing up. Because that's very important. That's how you gain trust in people. So, Javier did send in an acceptance speech. So before I get to that, I want to say that, Javi, man, you're a bro. I'm glad to have met you, and I actually hope that one day I get to do another expansion to which I will find a time, send out invites to my fans. If they want to gather and play video games with us, maybe join us. Maybe I could end up meeting another great friend. That would be amazing. But for now, folks, please welcome the first inductee of the 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame class, my bro, Javier Brizuela.
Hello, everybody. My name is Javier Brizuela. Most of my friends call me Javi. First off, I'd like to say thank you so much, Christian, for inducting me into the Optimistic Hall of Fame. This is it's a truly big honor, and I really want to thank you so much for this. Um, Funny, I was remembering when I first came across your channel. Actually, it was I think 2019. That was in my sophomore year of high school. At least that's what I think. My memory is not the brightest, but I came across one of your Sims videos, and I watched it, and I did not understand what the concept or anything like that. But I was entertained by it, so I clicked on another video, and then another, and another, and the more I watched, the more I understood what the concept of the video was, and I became a fan. I subscribed to your channel. I started following you on social media, and I would watch your videos when I was bored, when I was finished with the homework, or even sometimes I'll pull them during class. And but I never thought we'd get the actual chance to meet you. So when I saw that you and Longneck Josh were hosting a special PlayStation party and online with fans, I took the opportunity. I got on and I got to meet you, Josh, and all of our friends from our now Discord server called the Colony of Weirdos, aka Cow. And I want to thank you for allowing me to meet so many awesome and wonderful people that I'm grateful to still be friends with to this day. But it was in that server that I actually got to know you as a person, and I'm really grateful for that, because ever since I came across your channel, the one thing that I've learned and I've kept with myself so much is the meaning of optimism. Because I'll be honest, when I first came across your channel, I've never heard the word optimism in my life. I actually had to Google search it to get the definition, and that's when I learned that optimism meant to stay positive. So your catchphrase, stay optimistic, stay positive. I love that message because for me, I've always thought myself on always trying to be a positive person, like always trying to find the positive even in the negatives, in the most negative situation. For me, like during our gaming sessions, I would just say the most random things in hopes of getting a laugh at somebody, because that's something I take a lot of pride in. If I can make somebody laugh and possibly making them forget about something awful that's been going on in their day or their life. If I can make them laugh and make them forget about it even for a few minutes, then yeah, that makes my day, and that's something I try to do every day. Yeah, when I'm with friends or family. But I do. There was one time where, or a brief period in my life, that I just felt depressed or really down on myself. It was around the same time I discovered your channel, actually. The story is that my parents were going through a divorce, and when my parents were married, we lived in Tijuana, Mexico. But when they got divorced, me and my mom and my little brother, we came to live to San Diego, California, which is where we live till this day. And during that time, there was these disputes between my mom and my dad, and I always felt like I got caught in the middle of them, which really messed up. It really messed with my head, because I was also going through high school at that time, and high school can be a bit of a drag sometimes. Like it can be awful sometimes. So you put that plus going through a whole divorce, plus my dad lived in Tijuana, so it's like it was hopping back and forth. It's like I just had to focus on all that stuff, and I just remember thinking like, damn, this my life sucks, or like, shit, I don't like being like this. Or like, so I was honestly, I felt like I was done. I was just done with life. I'm like, this just sucks. So yeah, I started feeling depressed. I felt like a downer. I looked down at myself because I was also a bit chubby at the time. So, I didn't like look at myself in the mirror. So I just felt, yeah, life sucks. But when I started watching your videos and I learned what optimism was, I just kept thinking about your catchphrase, like, be optimistic. So I just started playing that in my head and thought, okay, and okay, maybe it won't be like this forever. Maybe it might suck right now, but I'm optimistic that things will get better in the future. And 4 years, or like probably 4 years looking at it back then, and I really was right. Things did get better. Like right now, the situation is honestly better between my mom and my dad. Uh, I still get to see both of my parents. I have all these wonderful people in my life. My family, my friends. Right now, I said I was done with life all those years ago, and now here I am chasing my passion, chasing my dreams of being a professional wrestler, which just motivated me to continue. It's like I want to keep going. And I really think that me coming across your channel and learning all that is part of what helped me get through that time. So I'm really thankful to have met you, Christian, and and once again, all the people that I've gotten to meet because of you and our Discord server. Everybody from Josh, Logan, Iron Fisher, Chris, and everybody in Cal. There's, I think it would take a lot of time to mention everybody, but really, everybody there. Thank you so much for always making me laugh, for always just being you. You guys have brightened my life a lot, especially in dark times. I promise that I will always try to spread positivity, even if I might fail sometimes, because I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and say that every day I'm trying to I'm always the happiest person on earth. There are days where I do get sad or angry, or I might make mistakes, and but those mistakes are what I feel have made me a better person, a better son, and a better friend. So thank you so much, guys, and let's spread positivity on this world. Thank you.
Quite a speech. I enjoyed that very much. Javier, man, you deserve this. Congratulations. And now, folks, it is time to go on to the first of many Optimistic Awards. And now we are starting things off with the 2022 Series of the Year. And finally, for the first time in a long time, I created multiple different series. Whether it was some different types of Sins videos or practically anything you could think of. I will admit, the start of 2022, the first half was very slow for me. And the reason for that is because a lot of times I was dealing with a lot of personal drama, family problems, and a lot of times just thinking to myself, is what I'm doing on YouTube really worth everything that I'm also going through in life? And it took me a while to realize that YouTube really is a great escape for me. Over the years, my views started dropping to the point where people literally started making fun of me for that. And trust me, it still doesn't hit me because I'm not in this for fame. Because if I did, I would have quit years ago when it was going down. I do this because I love it. I have to keep saying that all the time because a lot of people just don't seem to get it. A lot of people just don't seem to get me. Some people say, I used to be a fan of him, but he's an asshole. How do you know? How do you know I'm an asshole? Am I an asshole? Or did you just think of me not as the person you hoped I would be and ran off and made some sort of excuse? When people walk away from you because you're not the person you hoped they would be, if you walk away from somebody because they're not what you wanted them to be, you never cared about them in the first place. And that ain't on them, that's on you. That's reality, folks. And in 2022, I also went on a couple of vacations. So there were times where I was off YouTube for weeks at a time. One time even a month, and then maybe 2 months. And it wasn't until September that I really started to get back into the grind because I started feeling better about myself. I started realizing that I have a lot to live for. I have a lot of friends. And I have a plan in store for my future. That really helped me realize that I could just, keep moving forward. And as a result of that, I've been working on my content very well to the point where I got many videos done months in advance. I'm still hoping to do that. Even whether it was Wi-Fi issues stopping me from doing this or that, or family problems stopping me from doing this or that, I never once gave up on who I am. That's why I also recreated my depression update series, is because I wanted to share with you guys my struggles and what it honestly is like. And obviously, those hardly get any views, but I don't give a fuck. I never gave a fuck. That isn't why I do it. If even one person was watching it, it was worth it. Because now I'm making somebody's day somewhere out there in this big world. Somewhere out there. I'm making somebody's day. And I know for a fact there are people watching this right now as it's being premiered who I know I've helped with their days of struggle. And so that's why I recreated my depression update series to share with them my past issues. There are a few topics I could not discuss because of YouTube's terms of service preventing me from doing that. That's bullshit, YouTube. But hey, it is what it is. But for now, here are the nominees for the 2022 Series of the Year.
Joke's on you, buddy. Saints are great.
Except for the Saints of New Orleans.
Get on a date with some chick!
Good thing I'm gay. I don't have to deal with that shit. What?
Share some of my mental health issues from the past. It was really nice. Think optimistically.
Beautiful.
What do you think, guys? Quite a list. And the winner of 2022 Series of the Year is the WrestleMania Tour Vlogs. I returned to WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas this year, which was the site of my first WrestleMania in 2016. So, I found it very poetic that I returned to where it all began right after we went through the whole pandemic. It's a shame that my bro, Longneck Josh, was not with me because I made a promise that I couldn't keep. But it was still nice to be at WrestleMania, and it was great to be, for the first time ever, at my first two-night WrestleMania. I enjoyed that very much. All right, folks, we're going to move on to the next award, and this next Optimistic Award is the 2022 Losers Lounge Podcast of the Year. The Losers Lounge Podcast has also been grinding because over the course since October, we've been doing a podcast every single week because there was a lot of wrestling shows, whether WWE, NXT, or AEW. Yeah, we just had quite a lot to talk about. They were just conveniently within a 2-week distance from each other. And it was just so easy to do because we're like, okay, we got this coming up. Okay, now we got that coming up. Now we got this coming up. Now we got that coming up. 1 week we're doing a prediction. The next week we're doing a review. Oh, time for another prediction. Time for another review. Sometimes we even did triple subjects. Happened more than once this year. We did triple subjects because wrestling events were so close together that we ended up talking about 3 at once. And at that moment, I was like, oh my God, we have a lot to discuss here. So, folks, the nominees are right here for the 2022 Losers Lounge Podcast of the Year. There were 4 of my favorites. I have a lot more favorites from this year, but these, in my opinion, were the top 4. And the winner, Losers Lounge Podcast of the Year, is the triple subject. The predictions of Clash at the Castle, NXT Worlds Collide, and AEW All Out. That was a hell of a show. Trust me, it was a hell of a show. To be able to sit down and predict those 3 pay-per-views that were taking place on Labor Day weekend this year. 3 events in 2 days. That doesn't often happen. So when we had the opportunity for that, I was excited. I was very excited for that. So, I will also say that there's no Losers Lounge Member of the Year award this time because, for one thing, it would just be a tie between Heel Balor and myself because the Double R Reister Ryan was absent. And the reason for that is because he was going through a lot of family problems and a lot of other issues in his life, and as a result, he chose to quit YouTube. He chose to leave, take time to himself, and even, I will also say, here's the thing. One of the things that was a little sad and disappointing for WrestleMania was that when I was vlogging, at his request, he was not going to be in any of the footage. There were times I accidentally got him in view of the camera and had to edit that out at his personal request, which I respect. It just, just didn't feel the same. However, when the cameras were off, it just felt so great to be able to spend time with Ryan and with Connor and with our good friend TJ. Heel Balor was not with us because he couldn't make it. And Kelsey, she's living her life. And we're proud of her. But regardless, sure, Ryan wasn't in the footage, but that doesn't mean that it was bad. Because it was still fun. I still like looking back on it. And the fact that I just know that I was sitting beside Ryan the whole time and we were all enjoying the show together, it really, really helped me. And I'm sure it helped him. Ryan, if you're watching this, bro, I love you. I miss you. The losers miss you. And hopefully one day we'll get to see you again on the podcast. But until then, bro, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and always have a great time. All right, folks, we're going to move on now to the next Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee, and this is another one who absolutely deserves it. It's a friend of mine who I've known for a few years now. I got to know him through the Losers Lounge. He likes to go by the name Steep. Yeah, like a steep ditch. Okay, I don't think that's what it means, but that's the word I'm saying, steep. Like the ditch is steep, that sort of thing. But no. I will say that I like the name. It's very creative, and Steep Man, you earned it. You earned the Optimistic Hall of Fame induction because you've really done a great job at keeping yourself going forward throughout no matter what's going on. And that's what's important with life. That's what's important for all of us, folks. We're here because optimism keeps us alive. Why else do you think I wear this all the time? Think optimistically. I think it's time, though. I think it's time for me to get a little upgrade from this, don't you think? Because let's be honest, I got this hat 6 years ago. You notice the color is fading away. I guess some good things just come to an end. Or I can just get another blue one. With everything still the same on it, just to keep the colors alive. But for now, I'm wearing this until it's time for me to get a new one. Which, I'm just going to say, folks, is soon. As for Steve, he did send in an acceptance speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee, Steve.
Class of 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame. Before I get started, I want to say thank you to you, Chris, because you've really been there for a lot of people, and I want to say thank you for giving me this induction in the first place. None of this would be possible without you. It's an honor, man. When I got the news, it was overwhelming, and I was a bit surprised and shocked, but I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful to be here with these amazing people going into this year's class. It really means a lot to me. I want to say thank you to you, Christian, because you really have taught a lot of us, including myself, how to be optimistically and what Think Optimistically really means. You know, how you give us this quote that really teaches us how, at the end of the tunnel, there's always going to be light at the other side. There's always going to be that whenever our back is against the wall, we're going to be able to overcome it, because nothing is truly impossible, and how whenever we're giving obstacles in our life, we can overcome the situation. And you really did teach us that. It's something I had to learn, especially last year when my parents were sick and hospitalized for 2 weeks, and I was home alone with my siblings. And, there wasn't any much help from my family because they're not really around. And I had to really step up and be that adult figure in my siblings' life. And it was hard. It was probably the first time I really had to take care of them like that. And that maturity, I had to mature and step up to the plate. It was something that I wasn't ready for, but to be honest, I didn't have much of a choice, and it was my, being the oldest, my responsibility to do so. And it was in the beginning, it was very difficult. Me and my siblings had no idea what to do, but at the end, I eventually did figure out what to do, and everything worked out for itself in the end. So, because of you, Christian, why that was possible, because I was able to look at it from different angles and look at it more from a positive standpoint. There wasn't that being so negative on myself and being like, oh, I can't do this. No, I was able to say I can't do this, and it really did help me. There's a handful of people I have to thank for being here. From Will, Austin, Leo, TJ, Dustin, Antoine, Beast. You guys have really been there for me. You guys have really been my best of friends. You guys have really cheered me up and really uplifted my spirits, and I'm forever thankful and grateful that I got to meet you guys, and it's an honor being a part of the crew. It's an honor getting to know you guys as my brothers, my family. Another person I want to thank is my high school gym teacher, Mr. Joseph, Mr. Joe. You've really been that father figure to me. Those 4 years of high school, which I didn't like my high school experience, but the greatest thing that came out of it was meeting you, and you've really been there for me. You teaching me how to work out. When we talk wrestling, and how we still keep in touch to this day. I'll be sending this to you so you can hear this, and I hope you know how grateful I am for those 4 years, how thankful I am, and it was an honor. It was incredible to get to know you. Another person I want to take time to thank is Deez. A lot of people know him now as Coach Joe, but Deez, you've been there for me since I met you back in 2019, and these 3 years, how we've built this bond, how you're always there for me, how you've really given me advice. I'm thankful for getting to know you. This opportunity when I met you was incredible. I want to say thank you to Long Neck Josh. Josh, since we met in 2018, late 2018, to now, you're someone who's always had their DMs open, someone who's always replying back to me. I admire the positive stuff you post on your story. We need more people like you, because you have this positive outlook on the world that a lot of people don't have, and it's incredible to see how how positive you can be and the inspirational stuff you say to others. And, you know, it takes one small compliment to turn around someone's bad day, and you know how to do exactly that. I want to say thank you to Kashan. Kashan, you've been there for me for the longest, you know, these past couple of years getting to know you, man. You're my brother, my friend, my family, my blood. I'm incredible for you to get to know you, man. You've had my back, and I've had yours these past couple of years, man. I will never take for granted. You know, you're someone I'm glad I met, someone I'm glad I have in my life. It's been an incredible journey getting to know you, Kashan, and whenever we come together, you know how to set the mood, man. You know how to make people around you laugh. It's an honor, man. It's something that I'm thankful for. So thank you, Kashan, for always being there, man. We've been through a lot together, and I hope to see our friendship grow and elevate even more. With all the people I've met in my life, you know, I hope to take this to higher extents and to new levels with you guys, because it's honestly something that I'm glad I have in my life. You know, I'm glad I found you guys. I'm glad I know what it's like now to really feel accepted. For the longest part of my life now, I always felt like an outsider. I didn't feel like I belonged. I couldn't find who my pact was. I didn't know what my true friend group circle was, but you guys gave me that. Big shout out especially to you, Will, for taking me in with open arms. I was just a stranger off the internet, and you know, you welcomed me into those calls, and you know, I was able to meet the others, and it was an honestly incredible journey. And you know, me giving you that post in 2019, I meant every word of it, because you have a bright mind, man, and you're someone who's such an incredible talent. You're someone who knows how to brighten a person's day. So thank you to everyone. I want to say thank you to my close family and friends, you know, especially to my younger brother and sister who we've been through a lot together. And I know when we're not talking and whenever we're mad at each other, you guys still have my back. And when you guys see this, just know I'm thankful for you and how you guys especially have made me the person who I am today. I want to say thank you to all those people who have been there for me time in and time out, you know, year after year. Those people who have came and gone. Each and every one of you taught me something that I cherish, and why I'm the person who I am today. And Thinking Optimistically really did help me in many ways, and how I never realized this until last year. I was always thinking optimistically, but I just never knew the term for it. Because, you know, there was always a time where I was going through something, a scenario, a situation where I felt like, you know, what is the answer? What can I do? But being positive really gave me that answer. It really did help me in multiple ways. And, you know, now understanding the true meaning of thinking optimistically, no matter what situation comes in my way, no matter what there is in life, I know I'm going to be able to overcome it. Big shout out to everybody in my life who's played a part in it. Big shout out to all you guys. You guys mean the absolute most to me. You guys are the best people I can ask for in this world, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. This is an incredible, monumental journey. This is an honor. This is words can't describe the feeling I have right now going into the Optimistic 22 Class of Hall of Fame, because I never did expect to be here. I never knew that. I could never predict this, you know, and it says a lot for myself. You know, I think what I've accomplished to get here, you know, the amount of stuff I've gone through in my life really did pay off, because I learned from it. There were lessons that taught me, hey, you go through this now and you're going to be able to deal with something worse later, because these situations in life, they're only here to help you grow as a person and grow as an individual and have this different mindset coming towards these problems. So that's what optimism has done for me. That's what all these people in my life have done for me. And I say thank you once again to you, Christian Miracle, for giving me this opportunity to be here with all these amazing people and get inducted into something so excellent, man. Something very, 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 like, a lot of meaning to this. It's very symbolic. I will forever look back on this and remember this induction this year. Thank you so much.
There you go. That was a great speech. Bro, Steve, I'm proud of you, man. Welcome to the Optimistic Hall of Fame. glad to have you in that list. And now, folks, it's time to move on to one last Losers Lounge Award. This Losers Lounge Award is the Guest of the Year. And this year, I will admit, we didn't have that many guests this time. But it was at least enough that 3 entertaining guests. And they were all great. So, all 3 of them were part of the WrestleMania week discussion when Losers Lounge Season 5 premiered in March of this year. So, here are the nominees. Recognize Steve? Yep, you just saw him talk. And Beast Mode there. Well, you're going to hear from him later. Hey, Sean, you heard from him last year because he was inducted into the Optimistic Hall of Fame. So, yeah. These guys really earned it. These people really deserved it. And now, folks, I really wish there were more guests, though. But don't worry. Losers Lounge, we're going to try and get more guests on our podcast in later episodes. All right? But in the meantime, the 2022 Losers Lounge Guest of the Year is K-Sean! Well done, bro. You've been a guest on many of our podcasts, and my absolute favorite thing was when I was dissing you about Io Shirai. You like Io Shirai, who's now known as Io Sky. There was one time on the podcast this year, during WrestleMania, I just randomly made a joke to him. I was like, hey, K-Sean, Io Shirai sucks. And then he just went into a complete tirade. He's like, what did you just say to me? What did you just say to me? Why would you say that to me? Dude, you are hilariously entertaining. You're a great friend. I love you. I miss you. Hope to see you soon. And you hear that noise? Yeah, there's people driving motorcycles out there, 4-wheelers. Yep. It's winter. Why would you be doing that? Oh, well. All right, folks. We just went from the Optimistic Hall of Fame, but we're coming back to it for a moment because there's another inductee I wanted to talk about. This inductee is actually someone I'm going to be speaking on his behalf, not because he wasn't able to get a video in time, but because it was something he preferred. He's also a great friend. I've known him since 2017, I think. Yep. His name is Hunter McIntyre. He's not related to Drew McIntyre or Triple H, just for the record. I never got the chance to meet him face to face, but he's been at several events where I was there. We just never met up. Most notably, WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. I've known Hunter since 2017 because I was hanging out with him, Longneck Josh, and a few others. We were playing WWE 2K. I mean, they were playing. I was doing commentary. And what's really cool about him is he's got a lot of determination to keep going with what he's doing. And I want to brief in on something regarding him. Hunter's living a life that can be tough at times, and the reason for that is because he's in a wheelchair. He's a paraplegic. And everybody knows that those who are paraplegic, they have a lot of limitations with what they can do in life. So that's why at times I feel for him, because I could never know what it's like, but the fact that he's able to keep a great smile on his face despite his limitations and keep on doing the things he likes to do, and also gets to attend wrestling shows and do this and do that while he's also suffering from that, it's honestly inspiring. And I'm glad I got to hear more from him, learn more of his story. And whenever I was down in the dumps, there were times where he reached out to me. He texted me and wanted to know if I was okay. He gave me advice, and dude, Hunter, I can never repay you for that. Well, this is my chance to hopefully repay you for that with your Optimistic Hall of Fame induction. So, folks, I'm going to show you right now. This is the speech I wrote on behalf of 2022 Optimistic Hall of Famer Hunter McIntyre. What is up? First off, I want to apologize for not getting an acceptance speech video put out. Having Christian accept on my behalf is what I'm more comfortable with. Thank you very much, Christian, for inducting me into the Optimistic Hall of Fame. It is an absolute honor and a privilege. Living with the medical condition I have is difficult and has its challenges, but I learned to adapt, and I have a lot of friends and family to support me, and they mean the world to me, which helps me get through day-to-day activities. If you're watching, and you also suffer from any type of medical condition that gives you limits, reach out to those who care about you, because they will always be there to help you. Once again, thank you, Christian, for this induction, and congratulations to the others. And there we go. Hunter, welcome to the Optimistic Hall of Fame. I hope you are able to keep on being optimistic. Saying things on the spot sometimes, folks, can be really tough. But it's okay. It happens in life. And now, folks, we're going to move on to the next award. This is one of my favorite categories, the 2022 Funniest Moment of the Year. This time, however, I did a number of hilarious things. And whether it was on a Sins video, or on a vlog, or anything else, it's just absolutely insane that I've done so much. And even when I was gone for a good portion of this year, because the toughest thing that happened was I suffered from some 3 losses. Before we get to the funniest moment of the year, I want to let you guys know 3 people really close to me passed away this year. And the reason for that, I'm not going to go for it, but is because life is unpredictable, and you never know how much time you got left. So make sure to love your family, love your friends, show support. Don't listen to haters, because honestly, they're suffering too. They'll never admit it, but they are. You already know. Think optimistically, folks. And share a laugh every now and then, because humor is a great form of medicine. And that's why this next what the fuck, I'm stupid. See, there's another funny moment. Funniest moment of the year. Here are the nominees that I selected. Trust me, they're really good.
He is Johnny Failure. Will you shut up?
Let's walk and talk.
I'm really enjoying this walk and talk.
Oh, really? You are?
Why the hell are we in Las Vegas?
We've been walking.
What? How?
Running one of those wheels in a hamster cage. Max Benny could play hockey on an ice cube. Buy a new car. Those Matchbox cars are pretty expensive. That'd be a short relationship.
See? Those are pretty funny. At least from my view, they were. Sometimes some people could find things not humorous, not funny. Well, I guess my type of humor is not yours. And that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2022 Funniest Moment of the Year is... I'll be honest, it's not exactly something I found funny. The time Johnny Gargano put me in the frickin'... He put me in the Gargano escape at WrestleCon. Yeah, here's the thing. For years on social media, I just kept referring to Johnny Gargano as Johnny Failure, because he kept losing again and again and again and again and again and again and again. You might as well have called him the Kurt Hawkins or the Dallas Cowboys of the WWE. But eventually, here's the thing. He's got a great heart. He ain't Johnny Failure. He puts on banger match after banger match after banger match. So that's also a very important thing about pro wrestling. Met him in WrestleCon. He didn't forget about it. I told him I was going to call him Johnny Failure this time to his face. He knew it was coming. He slapped in the Gargano escape on me and maybe tap out. You know, funny enough, a lot of people predicted that would happen if we ever met. Well, it did. And I apologize to him as a result of that. To this day, I cannot call him Johnny Failure without feeling a pinch in my neck. because I think he left an emotional scar on me that would always remind me of what I've done over the years. Maybe it's time for me to get my revenge. Or not. It's time for the next Optimistic Award, and that is the Sins Quote of the Year. Everyone knows when it comes to the WWE Sins, I say weird things, funny things, cringe things, more cringe things, even more cringe things, and then even more cringe things. But they're still memorable, and that's what's important. So that's why, folks, these are the nominees for the 2022 Sins Quote of the Year.
My brain, where's the candlelight? Losing my breath, losing myself.
That actually sounds entertaining. Let's watch that instead of this. That actually sounds entertaining. Let's watch that instead of this. There are literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 WrestleMania logos in the stadium, the screens, and 9 more fucking logos! If you're in the United States, call 1-800-273-8255 or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org.
You know, to this day, I'm still amazed I can do a high-pitched noise. You know, my voice is so deep, and I put my voice through so much trauma, like Crown Jewel 2018, and yet I'm still able to actually do what I do. So, that's amazing. But folks, this was a tough one, but I realized this is what honestly deserves it. The 2022 Sins Quote of the Year is my suicide awareness messages. They were not even sins to the events. I just decided to give a public service announcement. And to me, it was honestly one that many people needed. Because people lose people they care about to suicide every year, and it's not fair. Sometimes you feel like you could have done something, but just know it's never your fault. Because what they're going through, it wasn't your fault. A lot of times people don't say what they're suffering from because they're scared that the person they really care about is just not going to be able to handle it. But, folks, I'm glad I'm still here. I'm glad I'm still doing these videos, and I'm glad you're still here with me. Albeit smaller than usual, but it's fine. Numbers don't mean everything. Because my voice is still being heard around the world. And that's what puts a smile on my face. And now, folks, it's time for the next Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee. This is the one I told you about, the one we mentioned earlier. Folks, his name is Beast Mode. Beast Mode. Actual name will remain anonymous. But he's a good friend of mine. He's funny. He's been a really big supporter of my channel for years. And he's got a great sense of humor. He's got a great sense of awareness. And he's also a guy who's not afraid to let his opinions hurt. Let his opinions be heard. Whether that's positive or negative. But it's okay, folks. Just because some opinions can be negative doesn't mean one is not optimistic. Because, well, being optimistic doesn't mean pretend to be positive at a time when you know something is negative. That's not how it works. And now, folks, he also sent in an acceptance speech. And I want to say he deserves this very well. Beast Mode, take it away.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Beast Mode 9000 here on Christian Maracle's channel for the Optimistic Hall of Fame accepting my Optimistic Hall of Fame award, which I want to thank Christian for. It is a huge honor coming onto his channel, which I've been a fan of for years, not only for the Losers Lounge, but to go into the Optimistic Hall of Fame. I never honestly thought that I was going to get here, but it's been a hell of a ride, really. Like, it's crazy to think that I would be here. It's absolutely insane, and I wanted to thank Christian again for giving me this opportunity. It is, I'm almost at a loss for words for how grateful I am. It's really, really goddamn awesome, and something I never thought would ever happen. So thank you, Christian, and I also wanted to congratulate Christian on his 10-year anniversary on YouTube, which mine's coming up pretty soon too, like in the next couple of years. Like me and Christian started around like the same time, give or take a few years though, so that's pretty cool that like in the same ballpark of years we started our YouTube channel. So that's pretty awesome right there. You know, optimism has played a huge role in my life. Optimism is key. I'm definitely can be pessimistic. I think everybody can. But, you know, optimism really is key. And I've had to have optimism many points in my life. You know, when my papa died, I had to have optimism that I would see him again one day. And, you know, I've had the fortunate reality to have experienced an encounter with his spirit a couple of times, which is really cool. Recently, when my new dog Ellie got sick, I had to remain optimistic that things would be okay, and you know, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and she would make it out all right, and she did. She's doing a lot better now. When I wanted to go see my favorite band, Killswitch Engage, in 2020, and the pandemic happened, I had to remain optimistic that at some point the tour would get back underway, and lo and behold, 2 whole years later, the tour started back up and I got to see him in New York City. And Christian's whole thing is being optimistic. Like, his whole MO is optimism, and that is one of the many things I admire in Christian Maracle. He's a great guy and definitely a very positive influence, not only for myself, not only for friends of mine, but fans of his and also people in the IWC and the YWC as well. And through that optimism and through me being a fan of Christian, I've been a fan of Christian for many, many years now, I started my channel. Like, my channel was officially started years before then, but actually starting it and getting into the realm of talking about wrestling and doing wrestling gameplay. My channel, how it is now, I really have Christian to thank for that, because I was such a fan of his that I used him as an inspiration, and then I branched my own channel off from that. Like, I originally started talking about wrestling when I was like, oh, I want to start to be like Christian. Christian's such a cool guy, so I started to talk about wrestling, and then I started to do wrestling gameplay, and now here we are, a few years down the road, and I'd like to do more reviews, and I've got my own series on my channel that is mainly wrestling gameplay, and I have Christian to thank for that. He's been a huge, huge inspiration for me since day one, and he's such a great guy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. In the last few weeks of 2022, 2023 is right around the corner. I, Beast Mode 9000, am in the Optimistic Hall of Fame, something that I never, in a million years, and a million lifetimes, ever thought would happen. And here we are. Dreams really do come true, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to send a special thank you, a shout out to Heel Balor. Because if it wasn't for Heel Balor, you know, Will DMing me and being like, hey, you want to, like, be added to this group that I've got, you know, him, TJ, Steep, Leo the Phenom, those guys, like, I wouldn't be here. Filming this right now, and it going live on Christian's channel as part of the Optimistic Hall of Fame ceremony, this would not happen. So that's why I wanted to send a special thank you to Heel Balor, because without him, I wouldn't have gotten into that wonderful group of people, and then I wouldn't have been personally introduced to Christian. Because through Will, I got introduced personally to Christian Maracle, and then I was a guest a few times on the Losers Lounge podcast, which was a dream come true anyways, and then here I am going into the Optimistic Hall of Fame, which I would say I'm on cloud 9, but I feel like I'm pretty above that right now, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely, I'm ecstatic. It is so absolutely incredible, and I'm so grateful for everything that has led up to this point. And thank you once again to Christian, and I hope to whoever is watching this, everybody out there, I hope you have a great rest of your 2022. 2023 is right around the corner. I hope you have a great year in 2023. Much love to every single one of you. Always, always be yourselves. Never stray from who you are, and I will see you all very, very soon.
Well done, bro. A well-deserved speech and a well-deserved induction. Welcome to the Optimistic Hall of Fame. And now, folks, it is time to talk some vlogs. The 2022 Vlog of the Year Award. The majority of the time when I was doing vlogs, was at Dallas for WrestleMania week, so practically almost everything came from that. However, with the exception of one. And that's because I would have done more vlogs, but when I went on vacation with my bro Longneck Josh to Orlando this past June, I was originally going to vlog it because, you know, I wanted to get the everlasting memories, but heading into it, I decided, nah, Josh and I are going to make this a personal vacation. Just the two of us as bros. Letting the rest of the world behind for that 1 week. And that was honestly the best decision I made, because it just feels great to be able to, you know, hang out with somebody and not have to have the responsibility of constantly shooting videos and posting them, because sometimes that can really take away with what you're trying to accomplish. So that's why majority of the vlogs I did came from WrestleMania week. I wanted to vlog that because, well, it's WrestleMania. Of course I'm going to do that. That's all about getting my reactions to things. And good thing I did, because there was a lot of great moments and funny moments, especially with my bro Connor. I miss you, dude. I can't wait to come back to Texas one day. Folks, here are the nominees for 2022 Vlog of the Year. Let's do this.
Just in time for showtime.
That's the problem. Then we have Friday Night SmackDown right tonight in the Hall of Fame. Those are the greatest wrestling people of all time.
Excuse me!
Hello, it's me, the other guy from YouTube. I feel the energy! Let's freaking go, boys! WrestleMania! Oh my God! FGC. This. Boom! Stop! Acknowledge him!
Quite enjoyable, huh? Alright, folks. The winner, 2022 Vlog of the Year, is WrestleMania 38, Night 1. That's because, I'll be honest, that night was a lot better than Night 2 of WrestleMania. Because a lot of crazy things happened. Whether it was Bianca Belair winning the Raw Women's Championship, the return of Cody Rhodes, the in-ring return of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and at one point there was a brawl outside, in the audience during the Charlotte Flair Ronda Rousey match. That was crazy. I had a higher vantage point, so I saw quite a bit of it. I didn't get to see much of it, though. But it's fine, though. Regardless, that was the best WrestleMania vlog, because it was so fun. And now, folks, it is time for the WWE Sins of the Year Award. And I'm thankful that this year I managed to produce more Sins videos than I have in the last couple of years. I've not been on a grind this big since 2018 or something like that. Because even in 2019, I was taking multiple breaks. 2020 was the big break because, well, COVID really hit, and I just stepped away from everything. I even stepped away from watching wrestling for a couple of months. I was absent from everything. That's the truth. In 2021, it was all about recovering from the COVID era, but it was still difficult to go through a lot of the things that we went through. And I'm at least thankful that I was able to get quite a lot done, even with what I was suffering from. And the first half of this year, like I mentioned, I did release the Sins videos, but there was also a lot of moments where I took more breaks, 2 of them because of vacation, a few of them because I was fighting through so much depression and losing family members. And it was just really rough for me, and a lot of times I just couldn't handle it. I needed to step away. And that's okay, folks. If there are ever times you need to step away, you go for it. And if people walk away from you because you stepped away from them, well, they were pieces of shit in the first place. They never cared about you. All they cared about is what they wanted from you. That's it. The real people who care about you will understand if you need a break and need to step away for a while. Knowing full well that you're going to be back. And that when you do, you're going to try your best to be better than ever. I really hope that I'm doing that right now. Because I've been releasing video after video several times a week again. I mean, for the last few months. And I still have a lot finished, ready to go for you guys for December. And I'm working on stuff for January. So that really shows how much of a great impact I'm still making. On my channel, my fans, and for myself. That's what matters the most to me. So here are the nominees. That was stupid. So here are the nominees for the 2022 WWE Sins of the Year. that was a difficult one because I did a lot of crazy videos in 2022. But the winner, the 2022 WWE Sins of the Year is... This is always the winner. WrestleMania 38. This is the 7th Optimistic Award show, and for the 7th year in a row, the WWE Sins of the Year award goes to the WrestleMania of that year. Look back, 2016, WrestleMania 32 won it. Then WrestleMania 33 won it. WrestleMania 34 won it. WrestleMania 35 won it. WrestleMania 36 won it. WrestleMania 37 won it. And now WrestleMania 38 won it. I bet all the other WWE Sins videos are like, are we jokes to you? Nah. It just seems like I put a lot of extreme effort into my WrestleMania videos because of how much of an amazing impact those events really gave us. And that's why it just has a different bit of energy. Like, you know, just like when you're actually attending WrestleMania, it has a different energy to it. And now, folks, the next Optimistic Hall of Fame induction. Second to last one. He's also somebody who I'm going to be speaking on behalf because you've heard his voice. That's because he's last year's Optimistic Empire Member of the Year, Josh Lambert. While he was able to make an acceptance speech for his Empire of the Year award last year, he wasn't able to make a Hall of Fame acceptance speech this year. And the reason for that, I'm not going to go into detail because that's personal, but he's been going through a lot of issues, not only with like his school life, his family life, his friends' life. I've kept in touch with him all the time. I'm making sure that everything's okay. And I want to make sure that everything's all right with him because, you know, when you have friends who you've known for a while, I also got to know him through the Colony of Weirdos that I mentioned before because that's how I met him. And he's always just been a great friend, great person, great bro. We've hung out with each other many times online. He's from Australia, so we haven't met in person. Hopefully one day we will because Australia is still my dream vacation spot. But now, folks, I wrote a speech on his behalf because, well, this would have been what's best given his current circumstance. But as I've said, even if one is inducted into the Optimistic Hall of Fame but are unable to write an acceptance speech, then it's okay. You're not going to be any less honored because it's still an honor for me to induct you as it is an honor for you to be inducted. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the speech I wrote on behalf of 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee, Josh Lambert.
Hello again, guys. It's me, Josh Lambert, last year's Optimistic Empire Member of the Year winner. Sorry that I didn't get an acceptance speech video sent out on time. Life has just been very tough and stressful for me recently, to the point where I just didn't have the time. But I am grateful that Christian reached out to me and gave me this Optimistic Hall of Fame induction. Throughout this year, I've been hit with tough situation after tough situation, and sometimes I get scared that everything will always be like this. But to have good friends like Christian, Longneck Josh, Logan, Javi, and others from our Colony of Weirdos group, as well as my family all supporting me and reaching out, it really shines a light in the darkness. I know that these tough situations will probably happen again because life is unpredictable, but I will do what I can to keep myself going through thick and thin. Thanks again, Christian, for inducting me into the Optimistic Hall of Fame, and congratulations to the other inductees.
So there we go. Alright, folks. There are 2 awards left and one last Optimistic Hall of Fame induction to conclude the show. First off, it's time for me to announce to you guys the 2022 Optimistic Empire Member of the Year. So I thought long and hard about who should be the 2022 Optimistic Empire Member of the Year because it was a really tough choice on me. Because I wanted to make sure that whoever I picked absolutely deserved it, and at the same time was always there for me. And like I mentioned, even when I started shooting this, I had no idea, but now I do. He's not giving an acceptance speech because even he doesn't know right now. He's probably watching this right now, wondering, who is it? Not even realizing it's him. So you guys don't know him, but I do. So I'll brief you in on him. He's someone I also met a couple years ago. He's not only a good friend, but he's been a good fan of mine. He's done reaction videos. He and his brother have done reaction videos to my content. I got to know him. I got to know both of them. We hang out with each other, play games with each other. He still watches my content. He still occasionally gives me an idea on what I could possibly do. And now, throughout this year, he stepped away from some gaming for a while because he was going through a lot of medical problems. And no matter what, though, he kept himself in a really good place. He always kept me up to date on what's going on. I'm not going to go through any details on what it is, but it's a medical procedure that he's been looking to get for a while. And it's going to help him get better at life. It's going to get him in better condition, in better shape. But I already know that his heart and soul is in the same place as it always has been. And he's always got a great sense of humor no matter what. 2022 Optimistic Empire, member of the year, is my good friend Julian Garcia. And I want to say, man, if you're watching this, congratulations, dude. You earned it. I hope you get that procedure soon. I hope everything's going well for you. And I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you throughout everything. So congratulations. Accept this with honor, man. I'll see you later on the gaming. And now, it's time for the final Optimistic Award. Yep, this means, folks, the last Optimistic Hall of Fame headliner is going to be closing the show. But for now, I want to say, the 2022 Video of the Year, the final award. This is always one of my favorites to do. Because there's so much to choose from. Whether it was this, whether it was that, whether it was up here or down there. I've done everything. I have done everything here and there. I have done everything everywhere. Wait, what? Okay, that was just done. Alright. So folks, here are the nominees for the 2022 Video of the Year.
My brain, where's the candlelight? Losing my breath, losing myself, dreams are out of sight. Stop struggling against my demons. Stop thinking.
I'm telling you right now, you need to go to Dallas. If you do not go to Dallas for WrestleMania, you're going to regret it.
Well, not to Dallas. I'm a little bit delayed. As you can tell, I came here late. The title of the video is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gay. And this is my coming out video.
We made that up yesterday.
Take care, Connor. Done quite a bit. I've done some historical things for my life. The winner, the 2022 Video of the Year is my coming out video. It's also an example of how I felt better about myself. In 2022, which is this year, why'd I say that? In June 2022, there you go, I publicly came out as gay. It's something that I was fighting with to figure out whether I was. In 2016, I came out as bisexual. But ever since like 2019, 2020, I was starting to realize as time went on that I was more interested and attracted to guys than I ever was to girls. And it came to the point where I had just no interest in dating women. And that's when I had accepted myself. I accepted myself in 2021 that I was gay. And very select people knew. Very few. but quite a number of them encouraged me. They encouraged me to come out when the time is right, if I ever felt comfortable doing it, and I wanted to do it. So I got the last slight little nudge I needed. I went through with it, and ever since then I felt good about myself because I got endless support from my fans, from my friends, from my family when I came out as gay, and it just felt great. Felt like one of the biggest weights were off my shoulders. I feel great about myself. And as you notice, just because I came out as gay doesn't mean I changed who I am or my looks or anything. I'm still the same guy you remember. Because nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change about my content. Nothing's going to change about my personality. None of that. So, I want to say one last time, thank you again for supporting me when I came out as gay. I appreciate you guys and I love you guys. And now, for the main event. It's time for the final Optimistic Hall of Fame inductee. In 2019, the Losers Lounge were the headliners, but they did not close the show. Same was the case for Mason Kentish in 2021. But in 2020, my bro Longneck Josh closed the show. The reason he did was because it was a send-off moment for him. This year, the Hall of Fame headliner is Gavin Orlandi. And the reason he's closing the show is because his story, oh my God, is one of the most inspiring I have ever seen. He started off as a fan of mine, and we became friends, got to know one another, because I found his content hilarious and at the same time entertaining. And then I noticed his progression, and starting from 2019 to then 2020, I started noticing he was determined to accomplish his goals, to not just be a bodybuilder, but also a professional wrestler. And to this day, folks, it still amazes me how much effort he put into this, how much enthusiasm he had, and how much dedication he put toward all that. And within those years, those 3 to 4 years, he not only worked out and trained, but he succeeded. I'm happy to say it, man. Gavin Orlandi, he's known in the ring in Ohio as Gavin Gradley. He's a bit of an asshole, though. That's, just kind of how it works at times, depending on what your gimmick is in the ring. But his bodybuilding stuff, oh my God, it's amazing, inspiring how much he was able to put all that effort. And here's the thing. He still runs his YouTube channel, which is Gavin Orlandi, and I'll even share the link in the description because I want you guys to go subscribe to him, go follow that journey, because if you want to be an aspiring pro wrestler and a bodybuilder as well, or one of the two, there you go. That's the place for you, because he's kept up with his journey. He shared his journey, whether it was diets, whether it was workouts, whether it was updates, all of that. He shared his story for you guys. And that's why I chose for him to not only be the headline inductee in the 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame, but also the guy who's going to close tonight's show. Because you deserve it, bro. You freaking deserve it. I'm so proud of you and I love you. And I met him once. In 2019, I attended WWE Fastlane in Cleveland, Ohio, because he's from the Cleveland area. And we met for only like 2 minutes. It wasn't that long. Because the show was in progress. And we're like, oh crap, we don't have much time at all in between matches here. So I went to where he was at. We met, we talked for a little while. It was great. We even took a picture. It was great to have seen him. And to this day, we're hoping that one day I may come down to Cleveland, Ohio one more time, hang out with him. But this time, with the intention of hanging out with him, a lot longer than 2 minutes, that's for sure. But I want to say, Gavin, man, it's tough to really describe how much this really means to him and how much it also means to me to be able to put this as a great honor. So, folks, please welcome the headliner of the 2022 Optimistic Hall of Fame class, professional wrestler Gavin Gradley, but also bodybuilder and my great friend, Gavin Orlando.
What is going on, YouTube? This is Gavin here in a little bit of a different scenario. We're on Christian's channel, and we are ready. This has been a long time in the making, and I'm so excited that it's finally here. First of all, before we go any further, I would like to thank Christian for giving me the honor of being it's an absolute honor to be inducted into the Optimistic Hall of Fame. Like I said, it's been a long time in the making. I believe we started talking about this last December, so it's been a year, and it's finally here. So basically, I kind of just want to tell you guys my story and what's been going on. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but my name's Gavin Orlando. I'm 20 years old, from around the Cleveland, Ohio area, and I kind of just want to break down my story and what I'm all about. For those of you guys that don't know, like I said, 20 years old. I'm an amateur bodybuilder, and I'm an aspiring professional wrestler. Just kind of dating back to the start of it all, back in like 2012. So like, it's crazy to think it's already been like 10 years since I've been on YouTube. Obviously nowhere to the extent of where Christian is, but we're going to get there, hopefully. When I started my YouTube channel back in 2012, it started with, me as a kid doing wrestling talk, wrestling news and all that. And I did that for quite some time. And along the way, I kind of disappeared off the face of YouTube. And in that time, I found a love for, lifting weights and getting into the gym. And essentially building my physique for when I started to train for wrestling. Like I said, started training back in 2019 at the age of 17. So, like I said, I had to get a little bit of time under my belt before I could have my first match. And then we got to 2021 last year, and I had my debut match. But that was definitely a huge milestone in my life. But I think along the way when I started on YouTube, I kind of faded away from talking about wrestling all the time, obviously because I'm involved in it. And it's just kind of, I really found a passion for putting my workouts and my diets and everything on YouTube and kind of sharing that information with people to kind of, help progress their own physiques, help, better their own lives. And it all starts with something small. It doesn't have to be going to the gym for 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. You could start with something simple, a 20-minute walk on the treadmill. You could be laying in bed. You could be sitting here doing what I'm doing right now, watching a YouTube video, but doing the same thing on a Stairmaster, a treadmill, an elliptical, going outside on a walk, listen to an audiobook, a podcast, whatever it may be. Listen to my man Christian, listen to one of his videos. But like I said, along the way, I found, and then after kind of building my physique and getting into wrestling and everything, last year I found a passion for bodybuilding. Last year competed in my first show. This year, competed in my second show, which was a couple weeks back. Now, I think the majority of you guys are wrestling fans, so I think I kind of also want to touch on that as well. Like I said, grew up loving wrestling. I think I started watching at the age of 5 or 6, and that's all I ever wanted to do, and now I'm doing it. Obviously, on a smaller platform, I kind of wrestle. I wrestle within the states, around the states. I've wrestled in Indiana. I've wrestled in Michigan, and then mainly the Ohio area. So I travel all around Ohio to wrestle. And it's been absolutely amazing. Obviously, I'd like to take that as far as I could go, make it to the top. Start by getting on maybe something like AEW Dark, doing like WWE backstage work, whatever that may be. I'm here to get the opportunity to do that. And for those of you guys that don't follow the journey, you guys can follow that on my YouTube channel as well. I'm sure there will be a link or whatever for you guys to see. But I feel like I'm kind of rambling on right now because I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me right now to, I don't know, I've never been in this scenario before, so I hope I'm not kind of rambling on and boring you guys. But essentially, yeah, bodybuilding, professional wrestling, it's all I ever wanted to do, and now I'm doing it. And it's just so crazy. Like I said, once again, just want to give a huge thank to Christian for giving me the opportunity to kind of sit here, tell my story, what I'm about. And yeah, I really don't have a lot more to say, you guys. Like, that's my story. That's kind of the ride that I've been on the past few years, kind of building my physique, getting better in wrestling, trying to progress with YouTube as much as I possibly can, and it's only up from here, you guys. So I think I've taken up enough of your guys' time. I think I've taken up enough of Christian's time, and I'd like to thank you guys. I'd like to thank all of you guys watching. I'd like to thank Christian himself once again for giving me the pleasure to, sit down, tell my story, what I'm about, what I do, what I'm interested in, and it's only up from here, you guys. So I appreciate you guys. And once again, one final thank you to Christian. One final thank you to all of you guys for watching the video, supporting myself, supporting Christian, whatever that may be. I hope you guys continue to stand by my side and follow the journey. So once again, thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon.
What a speech. What an amazing speech, Gavin. I'm proud of you, man. And I must say, your story about fighting for your dream and wanting to accomplish your goal inspires not just those who want to do it, but it also triggers something else. Makes someone think to themselves that they can not just do it as well, but maybe they can do it better. You see, I've been thinking to myself, can I accomplish my dream again? And then I listened to your story. And then I watched you perform. And now I have a new dream. But let me ask you this. You have aspirations, right? You're determined. Well, I've got a dream too. It's kind of similar to the one you want. Or maybe I've got a new dream now. And you are gonna be the first one. Or I'm just messing with you. Woo! I guarantee everyone right now who's watching this, they probably thought for a second I was gonna challenge Gavin greatly to a match. Could you imagine if I did that? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the 2022 Optimistic Awards Show and Hall of Fame. I've been bulking up pretty good lately. That's good. Kind of need that. I enjoyed this show. I always enjoy doing the Optimistic Awards Show. The 7th annual, which makes next year will be the 8th. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to end it. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, everyone. And congratulations to those who got inducted into the Optimistic Hall of Fame. I miss you guys. I love you guys. And I hope you enjoy your last month of 2022, which has been an alright year. It's been a better year than the last couple, that's for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, the dreams just started. And now, this is where we end it. I'm Christian Maracle. Or am I? Or am I someone else? I'm just kidding. Always remember to think optimistically, folks. Because now I have a new goal in mind. I have a new goal that I'm hoping to achieve, whether that be in 2023 or 2024. I'm not saying specifically what it is, but I hope to one day be able to give myself a restart in life. So for now, folks, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. And good night, everyone.